Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking into the world of manufacturing.
Yeah.
Like all those intricate processes that transform
Yeah.
raw materials into the everyday things we use, right? You sent us some really fascinating articles about this program at NSIT, the Netaji Subhas Institute of Technology in India.
Yes.
They had this program, Manufacturing Processes and Automation Engineering.
MPAE.
MPAE, yeah. Sadly, it's been shut down, but we're going to
Wow.
explore it, what its potential was, compare it to how MIT approaches it, and see what lessons we can learn.
Interesting.
So, to really appreciate the significance of this MPAE program, let's start with the basics, manufacturing processes.
Fundamentals.
Basically, how we take raw materials and turn them into finished product.
Exactly like you said, without these processes, we wouldn't have cars, smartphones, clothes.
Right, everyday stuff.
Everything.
Pretty much anything, yeah. And deciding which process to use is crucial, right?
It is?
It depends on what you are making, the material you are using.
And how many you are making.
And the scale of production.
Yeah.
Like a small workshop making custom furniture is going to use totally different methods.
Right.
Compared to a factory that just pumps out thousands of plastic parts.
Exactly.
Yeah. So our sources break down these processes into 6 main categories.
Okay.
First one, forming. Think about like shaping dough, whether it's, forging metal into a particular shape or rolling sheets of steel.
Yes.
Then there's machining. This is where you remove material to get a very precise form.
Like a sculptor.
Like a sculpt carving wood, but with,
lathes
and milling machines.
Exactly.
Then you've got joining. This is bringing different parts together.
Putting the pieces together.
Yeah, it could be welding metal, using adhesives, or even like simple screws and bolts.
Yeah.
And then we move into more complex stuff with additive manufacturing, the fancy term for 3D printing.
Oh, yeah.
You're building objects layer by layer.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like a high-tech version of Legos.
It is.
Casting and molding is another big one. Picture pouring batter into a cake pan. It's kind of like die casting metal or using injection molding for plastics. Then finally, there's surface finishing.
That's the final touch.
It's all about the finishing touches, yeah.
Yeah.
Polishing, painting, electroplating to add a protective layer or make it look nice.
That's right.
So we've got these incredible processes.
They're amazing.
But how do we make them even faster,
Yes.
more efficient, and less error-prone?
That's where automation comes in.
That's where automation engineering steps in, yeah. You've probably seen those videos of robots assembling cars.
Yes.
Kind of mesmerizing, right?
They're incredible.
But those robots are just one small part of a really complex automation system.
Yes.
It's about improving production, speed, consistency, safety, and of course, cutting down those costs.
Absolutely.
And this is relevant for everyone, not just engineers. Automation is changing jobs across industries.
It is. That's a good point.
So let's break down the key players in this automated system.
Okay.
First, we've got control systems, often using PLCs, programmable logic controllers, or DCSs, distributed control systems.
Right.
They're like the conductors of an orchestra, coordinating machines in real time.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Then you have sensors and actuators. Sensors gather information. They're like the eyes and ears.
Yes.
And the actuators are the muscles,
Right.
carrying out actions based on that information.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the robots. They're the workhorses, doing those repetitive
Dangerous tasks.
or dangerous tasks with incredible precision.
Amazing.
But it's not all about these big machines.
Whoa.
There's also the HMI, the human-machine interface. That's how operators interact with the system.
Yeah, like a control panel.
It's like a control panel giving information,
Making adjustments.
allowing adjustments, yeah. And to oversee the whole operation, you've got SCADA supervisory control and data acquisition. Think of it like a control room for a giant factory floor.
That's right.
It's collecting data, ensuring everything runs smoothly.
Keeping an eye on everything.
But the future of automation is even smarter. Now we're bringing in AI and machine learning.
To make it even better.
Yeah, to optimize those processes.
Predict problems.
Predict problems.
Even make decisions.
Make decisions. So it's not just automating tasks.
No.
It's about making the whole system intelligent.
That's right.
And connecting all these components is what's called the Industrial Internet of Things, or IIoT.
IoT.
This network enables communication between machines, sensors, and those control systems.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Now that we've got a handle on the basics, let's look at how 2 leading institutions, MIT and NSIT, approach this whole manufacturing education thing.
Okay, that'll be interesting.
It's a really interesting comparison.
Yeah.
Not to say one is better, but to see the different philosophies. At MIT, you've got the famous Department of Mechanical Engineering and the cutting-edge MIT Laboratory for Manufacturing and Productivity.
Yeah, they're really pushing the boundaries.
They're right at the forefront of research, developing advanced technologies and working with big companies around the world.
That's right.
NSIT had its MPAE program, which, from what I understand from our sources, was more focused on giving Indian students a solid base in the core principles and practical skills.
Yeah, more hands-on.
Yeah, more hands-on.
Yeah, MIT's all about research, pushing those boundaries like nano-manufacturing and bio-inspired design.
Right, shaping the future of manufacturing globally. While NSIT's MPAE
was about India.
Was more about strengthening India's capabilities, really building from the ground up.
Yes.
Sadly, it's closed now. But the big question is why? Especially when India wants to be a manufacturing leader.
Yeah, that's a really good question. To understand this, we need to look at the perspective of Ansh Wazir, an MPAE graduate from 2019.
Oh, right. He shared his thoughts in one of the articles.
Yeah.
Yeah, his insights could be really valuable. He seemed really proud of the program.
He did.
Especially that focus on practical skills.
Exactly. He said MPAE gave him a really strong understanding of those core manufacturing processes.
Right, from welding and casting to machining and automation.
He was actually building things, not just reading textbooks.
It wasn't just theory, it was about gaining practical skills that you can use right away in the field.
Yeah, companies really value that.
Exactly, and Anj also mentioned how MPAE exposed him to all those cutting-edge technologies like robotics and CAM, computer-aided manufacturing skills that are in super high demand these days.
Yes.
It seems like MPAE offered a really well-rounded education.
It did.
Combining that foundational knowledge and exposure to the latest advancements.
A great combination.
With all that, why shut it down?
Well, one possible reason, and Ange touched on this, is this big shift toward software and IT.
Oh, so like a societal bias.
There's this perception that those jobs are more glamorous, pay more.
Yeah.
So interest in core engineering disciplines like manufacturing goes down.
So even though Make in India is a national priority, maybe there's a disconnect at the education level.
There could be. The emphasis on software might be overshadowing the need for skilled engineers who can actually build things.
Ange also mentioned the program becoming less popular.
Yeah.
Do you think that played a part?
It might have. Maybe students weren't aware of the career opportunities in manufacturing.
With all the hype about software jobs.
Yeah, it might have been a hidden gem.
But without good marketing, maybe they didn't see its value.
And those diverse career paths it could lead to.
And let's be realistic, maintaining top-notch labs for manufacturing and automation
Costs a lot of money.
That's got to be expensive.
Yeah.
So maybe funding was tight?
Especially with fewer students enrolling.
It's complicated, isn't it?
It is. It's a mix of things. Curriculum, industry perception, student interest, and just resources.
Yeah, all of those probably contributed to the decision.
Probably.
Which is a real shame because it sounds like MPAE was churning out grads ready to help India's manufacturing goals.
It's a missed opportunity.
A missed opportunity, yeah. But let's dig deeper into those possible reasons after a quick break.
So we were talking about those factors that might have led to NSIT shutting down its MPAE program.
Yeah, it seems kind of strange, right? Closing a program that was teaching skills India really needs.
Well, one thing that comes up in these articles is this lack of long-term vision.
So, like, even though MPAE was giving solid training, maybe it wasn't keeping up with all the advancements in automation and digital manufacturing.
It's possible, yeah.
Like, maybe the courses needed to be updated more.
Right, including things like AI, the industrial Internet of Things, digital twins.
Industry 4.0 stuff.
Exactly that next generation of manufacturing with smart factories and everything connected.
Makes sense. If the program wasn't including those cutting-edge things, it might have seemed outdated, even if the basics were still useful.
Right.
Didn't the articles also mention something about industry influence?
They did. There's this thing about industry-driven curriculum perception.
Oh. What's that?
Well, software and IT are booming right now.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of pressure on schools to focus on those areas.
So even though Make in India is a national priority, the education system might not be totally aligned.
You could say that, yeah. The focus on software might be overshadowing the need for engineers who can actually make physical products.
We were talking about Ansh's reflections earlier.
Yeah.
He also mentioned the program becoming less popular.
Right.
You think that played a role?
It's definitely something to consider. Maybe students just weren't aware of the careers you could have in manufacturing.
Yeah, with all the focus on software jobs.
It's possible MPAE was a hidden gem.
But without good marketing, nobody would know.
Exactly.
We talked about those labs, right?
Yeah.
Keeping those up to date with the latest equipment can't be cheap.
No, it's very expensive.
So maybe money was an issue.
Yeah, especially if fewer students were signing up.
It's a lot of factors all mixed together, isn't it?
It is.
Curriculum, what industry thinks, student interest, and just plain resources.
All of those things likely played a part.
It's sad, really, because it sounds like MPAE was producing grads who could have really helped India's manufacturing dreams.
A definite missed opportunity.
But it's not too late to learn from this, right?
No, not at all.
Maybe we need to rethink how we're training the next generation of engineers.
I think so.
So what can we do to make programs like MPAE more relevant, more appealing to students, and ultimately more successful?
Well, one thing that's crucial is making sure the curriculum is always changing.
Okay.
It needs to include the latest technology and trends in manufacturing.
AI, IoT, advanced robotics, all that.
Exactly. We have to prepare grads for the factories of the future, not the past.
So it's not just teaching the basics.
Yeah.
It's about staying ahead of the curve and giving students the skills they'll need down the line.
Right, and that brings us to another important point. Working with industry.
Oh, like partnerships.
Yeah, internships, apprenticeships, research projects.
It's students' real-world experience.
Exactly. Bridge that gap between the classroom and what's actually happening out there.
So industry can tell educators what's needed, and schools can provide skilled workers.
It's a win-win.
But it's not just about the students, is it?
No.
We have to change how people view manufacturing.
Yes.
Make it seem like an exciting career choice.
Show the possibilities, the potential to really make a difference.
Exactly. Highlight how manufacturing is involved in solving global issues.
Like sustainability and healthcare.
Yeah. Imagine a nationwide campaign.
That would be great.
Celebrating the people who make things happen.
The innovators, the problem solvers.
To inspire the next generation of engineers.
To see manufacturing as this vibrant field with tons of opportunity.
Not just some outdated factory floor.
That's the image we need to change.
But we have to start early though, right?
Absolutely, even in school.
Get kids interested in STEM.
Show them how cool engineering can be.
Robotics competitions, science fairs, even teaching basic manufacturing ideas in class.
It's about sparking that interest early on.
And creating an environment where that interest can grow. This brings us back to MIT and NSIT, right? They had different approaches, but both knew manufacturing education was important.
Yeah.
MIT, with its focus on cutting-edge research,
Pushing the boundary.
is really driving global innovation in manufacturing.
While NSIT
MPAE was more about giving Indian students the skills to help their own country's manufacturing grow.
Two sides of the same coin.
Both important.
We need institutions doing both, right?
Yeah, pushing the limits of what we know, and also teaching people how to put that knowledge into practice.
A balanced ecosystem, that's what we should aim for.
And to get there, we need to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Update those courses, work with industry, show people what a career in manufacturing can look like.
And promote manufacturing as a field that's exciting and vital.
And what about Ansha?
Yeah.
His story really shows what happens when students get the right training.
It does. He's a great example.
But it also reminds us that we have to keep evolving. Make sure programs like MPAE aren't just a memory, but a model for how India can have a thriving, innovative manufacturing sector.
I couldn't agree more. The future of Indian manufacturing rests on skilled engineers.
And while closing MPAE was a setback,
It is.
it's also a wake-up call.
Yes.
A chance to rethink and revitalize how we teach manufacturing.
And make it a key part of India's journey to becoming a global leader in manufacturing.
Well said. But before we wrap up this amazing discussion,
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on one more thing Ash mentioned.
What's that?
He said, even though the last MPAE students graduated in 2025,
Yeah.
the alumni are still connected.
That's great to hear.
It says a lot about the program's impact, even years later,
It does.
which makes me wonder,
Yeah.
what are those alumni doing now?
Right. Did they find good jobs?
Are they using their MPAE skills in different fields?
It would be fascinating to find out.
Imagine tracking their careers.
Yeah.
Are they in traditional manufacturing roles?
Or have they moved on to other things?
Are they using those skills to innovate, create new products, start their own companies?
Those stories could tell us so much.
About how manufacturing is changing.
And what skills are in demand.
What if some of them ended up in renewable energy?
Or even space exploration.
Those MPAE skills could be super valuable in those fields.
Absolutely. That background in automation, robotics, problem solving.
It's not just about factory work.
No.
It's about being able to adapt and come up with new ideas.
Exactly.
So we've talked about why MPAE might have closed, but focusing on those successful grads gives us a more positive outlook.
It does.
It shows the program made a real difference.
It left a legacy.
Exactly.
And it proves that investing in quality manufacturing education is worthwhile.
Even if a program ends, those skills and knowledge live on.
They spread out, impacting industries and shaping careers.
Maybe their stories can inspire future engineers and policymakers to realize how valuable manufacturing is.
And how it drives innovation and economic growth.
We need to change the story we tell about manufacturing.
I agree.
Stop thinking of it as outdated or a second choice.
Show it as this dynamic field full of opportunities to be creative and make a difference.
So where do we go from here?
That's the big question.
What can we do to bring manufacturing education back to life in India?
We can learn from MPAE and from the experiences of its grads.
One thing's for sure.
What's that?
We have to keep changing.
Always evolving.
Those manufacturing courses have to stay up to date.
Include the latest tech, AI, IIoT, advanced robotics.
Prepare students for the future of the field.
Exactly. And strong partnerships with industry are key.
Those internships, apprenticeships, research projects.
Get students real-world experience.
Bridge that gap between academia and what's happening in the real world.
And we can't forget about promoting manufacturing as a good career option.
Show the exciting possibilities.
The potential for innovation, the impact engineers can have.
Imagine a national campaign.
Celebrating the makers, the problem solvers.
Inspiring the next generation.
To see manufacturing as a path to a fulfilling, meaningful career.
It's about encouraging that creativity, ingenuity, and passion for building things.
It all starts with education.
Investing in programs that make kids love STEM.
Nurturing curiosity, encouraging them to experiment.
Hands-on learning, robotics clubs, science fairs, mentorships with people in the industry.
Plant those seeds of innovation early.
And give them the space to grow.
Who knows, maybe we'll see programs like MPAE come back even stronger.
Including all the lessons we've learned.
And producing a whole new generation of skilled engineers ready for whatever the future holds.
That's a great point. So before the break, we were talking about those MPAE grads and wondering what they're up to now.
It's amazing how connected they still are, even though the program's gone.
Right. Imagine tracking their careers and seeing what they're doing now.
It would be so interesting to see the paths they've taken.
Yeah. Are they in those classic manufacturing roles, or have they gone in totally different directions?
Maybe they've used those skills to get into other industries.
What if some ended up in renewable energy or even space exploration?
It's possible those manufacturing skills are adaptable.
Right. Their MPAE background might have given them a head start in those cutting-edge areas.
Exactly. That experience with automation, robotics, problem solving, it's valuable in so many fields.
It shows how manufacturing education isn't just about factories, it's about fostering that innovative mindset.
Absolutely. It's about being able to adapt and solve problems in any situation.
So we've talked about why MPAE might have shut down, but those success stories, they give us a more hopeful perspective, right?
Definitely.
It shows the program had a real impact, even if it didn't last.
It proves that investing in good manufacturing education is so important.
And even if a program closes, the skills and knowledge stay with those grads.
They ripple outwards, changing industries, shaping careers.
Maybe their stories can inspire the next generation of engineers and even the people making decisions about education.
Absolutely. Show them how valuable manufacturing is.
And how it contributes to innovation and the economy.
We need to change the way people think about manufacturing.
Get rid of that outdated image.
Show it as a field with tons of opportunities to be creative and make a real difference.
So what can we do now? How can we bring manufacturing education back to life in India?
Well, one big takeaway from MPAE is that things have to keep evolving.
Right. Those manufacturing courses need to be updated all the time.
Include the latest tech, AI, the industrial Internet of Things, advanced robotics.
We have to prepare students for the future, not the past.
Exactly. And we can't forget about strong partnerships with the industry.
Internships, apprenticeships, research projects, all of that.
Give students that hands-on experience.
Connect what they're learning with what's happening in the real world.
It's about building that bridge between education and industry.
And we also need to promote manufacturing as a great career option.
Show all those exciting possibilities.
How engineers can be innovators and problem solvers.
Highlight the impact it can have on society.
Imagine a nationwide campaign that celebrates the people who make things.
the innovators, the people solving those tough problems.
Inspiring the next generation to see manufacturing as a path to a fulfilling career.
And it all starts with education.
We need to invest in programs that get kids excited about STEM, encourage that curiosity.
Hands-on learning, robotics clubs, science fairs, mentorships with people in the field.
Plant those seeds of innovation early on.
And create an environment where those seeds can grow.
Who knows, maybe one day we'll see programs like MPAE come back, better than ever.
With everything we've learned.
And a new generation of skilled engineers ready to face the future.
That would be incredible.
This deep dive has been so insightful. We've learned about the details of those manufacturing processes, the power of automation, and how important it is to invest in the right kind of education.
Education that prepares graduates for what industry really needs.
We looked at NSIT's MPAE program, both its successes and its challenges.
And learned from its closure.
But we also found inspiration in what those graduates have accomplished.
We talked about the need to adapt, to work with industry, and to change how people view manufacturing. It's a call to action.
Let's support manufacturing education, celebrate those who make things happen,
and work together to build a future where innovation thrives and India becomes a global manufacturing leader.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope it's made you curious about the world of manufacturing.
Keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep exploring.
Until next time.